Hello. Today I'm going to tell you basic checkmate you should be aware about. Just see. Okay, rook mates. So first in rook mates, we're going to look for the back rank checkmates. Let's suppose black is not aware about back rank checkmates, right? I can simply put my bishop on the c3, rook takes c3, and I'm going to put my rook on the e8. Now it's a back rank checkmate. The f8 and the h8 are not protected squares because the rook is attacking on the f8 and the h8, and the upper rank is fully covered by his own pawn, so he cannot move. So this is considered as a back rank checkmate. Second, rook and a knight mate. In this position, if I just kill the queen on the a4, now you have only one option to take this queen, right? After that, if I push my rook to the e7, it's a direct attack on the king. King cannot go right and left because knight is covering both the squares, right? And rook is completely protected by the king. King cannot go down sides because rook is covering both the squares. There are no escapes for the king, and that's it. That's a checkmate. Basic h7, h2 and f7, f2 checkmates. As you can see in this position, the f7 is fully attacked by this queen. And now it's gonna be checkmate if I play something else other than this. Okay, I can save it like the e7 also. But the thing is, it's not a very good move, to be honest, because knight is in attack after this. You have to take back the knight and then you have to continue it. So it's like if you don't want to waste the moves, you simply put the knight on the f6. Now there is no way he can do the checkmate. So that's a one way. The another way is this, the h7. Right, in the h7, right now the h7 square is fully attacked by the queen. The only way which can save the h7 here is like knight to f6, right? By knight f6 you can save it. Now there's no way he can do the checkmate right now. He can take the bishop if he wants. We can take by our pawn, right? We got the center also. We got the double up pawns, but still we got the center, so it's a kind of good position, you can say. Right now this is also covered. There's no way he can take out the knight right now, right? And there's another way which is h6, but I'll not suggest that because there are outcomes of h6 also. Like opponent can take back the knight and then he can rush for the sacrifice with the bishop. So that's pretty risky, you can say. So I'll suggest the knight f6 is the best move to save the h7 in this situation. As you can see in this situation, the knight and the h2 as both are being attacked right now, right? So you have to save the knight and the h2. Like knight is being attacked, but knight is protected by the d1 queen. But there are possibilities that rook can come on the d8 and then they try to attack the knight. So in case if you want to save the moves, just take the knight first on the f3 and now the h2 has been saved. The g3 is also the solution, you can say, but then this is here. Then you have to take back the knight, then opponent takes your queen, you take the queen, and he takes the queen, takes the queen. So it's a forceful exchange, you can say, you have to make. That's fine. If you want to make the exchange, you can just put the g3, but I'll not suggest because pushing the pawn in front of the king, it's not so good in the position, to be honest, after castle. But if you put at the f3, the knight is also being saved, right? The h2 is also saved. Now you don't even have to push the pawn. So h7, h2 and f7, f2 are the weak squares, you can say, in the mid game, end game and the starter. Now Zugzwang mates. Sometimes we don't just see the mates who are possibly in the 2 moves or possible in the 3 moves. We just rationally go for the checks and we end up doing a draw. So for avoiding that, you just have to sit, think for 2 minutes, and then you get the Zugzwang mates. As you can see in this position, if I even go on the, let's suppose, b3, right? King can escape here and now there is no mate, like for the long terms, I can say, right? And even if I just push my king somewhere and if you just go like this, there's still no checkmate. If I push the pawn, the king can escape, right? Now, other thing, I cannot rationally go on the e4 also which is e4 was a good move, but unless until this pawn is here, you can get the end pass on. So what's the right answer of this? The queen goes to e5, right? Now if he pushed the pawn, the b3 is a checkmate. And if we don't push the pawn, if he moves the bishop like on the b7 or the c8 or even gives a check on the b5, we just have to go with the b5 queen and it's a checkmate. So these are the checkmates where you don't have to rationally give a checks or something like that. You just have to maintain the trap which is already has been created by you. So you just don't have to let the king escape the trap. Otherwise, it's gonna be pretty rational for the king or for the white. You can say whoever is winning, it's gonna be pretty much rational for the winning player to do the checkmate. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, just drop the hit button and drop the subscribe button. Also follow us on the page of the Dhyan Chess Academy in the Instagram. Okay, peace out. Bye bye.